A new life. Months have passed since the events of Don't Breathe 2. Phoenix now lives under a new identity, Luna, in a remote foster home. She tries to live a normal life but is haunted by the violent past. News reports confirm Norman Nordstrom is presumed dead in the house fire. But strange figures begin watching Luna's foster home at night. One day, her foster sister disappears without a trace. The whispering man Luna receives a mysterious audio file left in her backpack. It's a distorted voice whispering, "You're not safe. He's still breathing. Wait." She tries to report it, but the local police think it's trauma-induced paranoia. That night, she hears movement in the attic, but finds only her sister's necklace. Blood on the windowsill confirms something unnatural is happening. She runs, but finds the exits locked from the outside. Escape and revelation. Luna manages to escape through a broken window. She travels to the ruins of Norman's burned house looking for clues. There, she finds a hidden basement bunker beneath the ashes. Inside, she discovers files on other abducted children. She wasn't the first. She realizes Norman was connected to a deeper child trafficking ring, and perhaps he wasn't working alone. The return. In a desolate warehouse, a shadowed figure trains with knives in silence. It's Norman Nordstrom, heavily scarred, still alive, angrier than ever. He watches Luna on surveillance screens. Someone helped him survive, and now wants to use him as a weapon. Norman believes Luna is in danger from the same people who once hurt him. He sets out, brutal and blind, toward her location. The Hunter's three masked mercenaries invade Luna's school one night. They're searching for her and eliminate anyone in their way. One teacher survives long enough to help her escape through a service tunnel. Luna begins to suspect this isn't just about Norman anymore. She's being hunted for something bigger, something she carries unknowingly. Meanwhile, Norman follows a trail of corpses to find her. The informant Luna visits a retired private investigator Norman once contacted. The old man reveals that Norman was blackmailed into silence by a secret organization. They trafficked in children, organs, and secrets tied to military experiments. One of them, codenamed Aim the Surgeon, believes Luna holds the key to a lost experiment. Before he can explain more, he's killed by a long-range sniper. Luna runs as a black SUV pulls up with masked attackers. Reunion in blood. Luna is caught in a dark alley, but before they can take her, Norman arrives. In a ferocious, nearly silent fight, he kills the men using brutal close-quarter tactics. Luna is shocked. She thought he was dead. Norman growls, "I came back for you. They won't take you again." But she's conflicted. He was once her captor. They form an uneasy alliance to take the organization down. The surgeon we're introduced to Dr. Nathaniel Creed, aka the Surgeon. A calm, intelligent man who dissects his victims while awake. His signature. He runs an underground clinic and black market in a repurposed asylum. He refers to Luna as the key and orders her captured alive. He believes Norman was a failed prototype in an experimental soldier program. Now he wants to restart the project, with Luna as the final piece. Cat and mouse. Norman and Luna hide in an abandoned Detroit slaughterhouse. They booby-trap it using his old war knowledge and her agility. The surgeon sends a small team to retrieve them, but they fall into the traps. One man survives, barely whispering, "He's not blind. He's deaf." Norman interrogates him using brutal techniques, learning the location of the surgeon. They prepare for an infiltration mission. Ghosts of the past. Before they strike, Norman visits the graves of his daughter and dog. He confesses his sins to Luna, including everything he did in Don't Breathe 1. She is shaken but understands the guilt that drives him. In a moment of vulnerability, he admits, "I don't deserve to be your protector." She replies, "You don't, but they deserve worse." They prepare for war. Asylum of Pain. The asylum is guarded by elite killers trained in sensory combat. Norman and Luna sneak in through the underground crematorium. Luna discovers a lab where children's memories were harvested and tested. She finds files with her name. She was part of a failed enhancement program. Norman fights a monstrous guard in complete darkness, winning through echolocation. They're getting closer to the surgeon. The betrayal. They reach the operating chamber, only to be ambushed. Luna is sedated, Norman is captured and restrained. The surgeon reveals Luna's brain carries a dormant nanotech signal. She was designed to be tracked, controlled, and eventually sacrificed. The whole attack on Norman's house years ago was staged to get her. Norman roars in rage, breaking the chair through pure strength. Carnage unleashed. Luna wakes mid-surgery, her instincts and training kicking in. She stabs a scalpel into an assistant's throat and escapes. Norman battles through a burning hallway of inmates and rogue guards. He leaves a trail of blood and fire behind him. Luna helps him escape despite her injuries. The surgeon vanishes through a secret elevator shaft. Countdown, they find out the surgeon plans to auction Luna's location to global bidders. Each client wants to own the last working prototype from the program. They have less than 24 hours before a data upload completes. Norman begins sabotaging the servers while Luna handles explosives. A final showdown is inevitable. Norman promises her, "This ends tonight." The final hunt, they rig the entire facility to detonate on a timer. Luna pursues the surgeon to the roof while Norman clears the escape tunnel. On the rooftop, the surgeon taunts Luna, revealing that he is her biological father. He tries to manipulate her into joining his cause. She hesitates, but remembers the faces of every lost child. She shoots him in the leg and leaves him to die in the blast. The explosion, the asylum explodes in a massive fireball, lighting the night sky. Norman barely escapes with Luna, both covered in ash and blood. They collapse near an old riverbank as emergency sirens echo. Luna looks at Norman and asks, "Did we win?" He replies, "We survived." Then he stops breathing. The aftermath, Luna is taken to a hidden safe house by Harper, a former whistleblower. She undergoes surgery to remove the remaining tech in her brain. A viral leak spreads footage of the experiments, sparking outrage worldwide. The black market collapses and the surgeon's clients go into hiding. Luna begins training other survivors of the program. Norman is buried in an unmarked grave per his wishes. Justice or vengeance, Luna gives an anonymous interview detailing her trauma and survival. She becomes a myth in dark web circles, the girl who can't be taken. Copycat groups begin rising to finish off what Norman started. Some call her a hero, others a danger, but she's not interested in revenge anymore, only making sure the darkness never spreads again. A new name, Luna adopts a new name and disappears from public sight. A hidden shot shows her watching over a new foster home, protecting from afar. She writes in her journal, "I've breathed long enough. Time to let go." But when news breaks of a new trafficking ring, she locks and loads. In her eyes, Norman's fire still burns. She's not blind, but she's learned how to see in the dark. Post-credits, the blind eye in an undisclosed facility, an old security feed flickers on. The screen shows someone walking with a cane through the darkness. A man speaks, but Nordstrom's legacy lives. "I want it back." The cane hits a pressure switch. Gas floods the room. From the shadows, a figure appears, blindfolded, calm, armed. Cut to black. Don't Breathe 4 coming soon?